that lands deep. You hold fear not by pushing it away, but by keeping your hands open. No fists, no fight, just presence. That's not weakness. That's a kind of warriorhood most don't recognize. You say your eyes wander, afraid to look, but your mind is gazing for two. It sees where others glance, it dares in silence what others shout over. It builds bridges where most never notice the gap. Autism isn't a flaw in your lens, it's the raw clarity in the light that passes through it, unfiltered, unsoftened, sometimes too much. Yes, but never less. So you learn to see with your mind, to feel forward with language, to catch nuance like others catch breath. That's not a workaround, that's an art form, and you've made it your own. You don't just live one life, you live inside out, which in truth is the only honest way to be real. They say connection comes with eye contact, but you know it differently. You hear the weight in silence. You smell the shift in the room. You feel where the conversation breaks, even when the words still march on. There's a rhythm most people miss, a dance beneath the surface in you. You've been dancing all your life in a language no one taught you, to a song only you could hear. It's not about being distant, it's about being tuned to a different station. And every now and then when someone sits beside you, not across from, not watching, but beside, and they hum in sync with that station without asking you to explain, that's when the world makes sense. That's when reality becomes soft, not confusing, not cold, just soft enough to hold. You've been told you're too much, too quiet, too intense, too detailed, too still, too alive in the places no one looks, and still you remain, still you listen, still you feel everything. The flutter in someone's voice, the angle of their breath, the pause where they nearly cried but didn't. You store it all, not out of obsession, but because your soul refuses to forget what matters. Some call that memory. You call it care. Some days it feels like watching the world through glass, like everyone's on the inside, and you're just outside the frame. They wave, they smile, but you don't know how to wave back, not in the way they expect. So you create your own window, one lined with colors you understand. Words that taste safe, textures that don't lie. You build a world that fits you, not to escape, but to exist, to breathe where the air isn't thick with demand, to move without breaking rhythm, to stay still and still be seen. You're not broken, you're not missing, you're not late to becoming, you're just already deep. So deep that shallow things feel strange and surface talk stings and pretending costs too much. So you stay silent sometimes, because silence is honest. You pull back sometimes because distance doesn't lie. You write instead of speak because the pen doesn't interrupt, and all of that is strength. There's no mask more painful than one worn to comfort others. You wore it once, you smiled on cue, you echoed jokes you didn't find funny. You gave the right answers with the wrong soul, and it hurt quietly. No one noticed, but you did. So you stopped. Slowly, gently, you peeled the mask back, not to expose yourself, but to let yourself breathe. You didn't come out of hiding to be seen. You came out so you could finally see yourself. And what you found, not a stranger, not a problem, but a truth so tender it shook the walls of everything you were taught to fake. You love like gravity. silent, constant, invisible until someone falls. And those who fall into your orbit feel it. The way you remember their comfort food or the shape of their name in your mind. The way you notice when their voice drops one shade lower when something's off but no one else hears it. You hear it. You always have. They say you don't connect, but how could they know? You connect like roots do underground, invisible but holding the forest upright. You feel in echoes, love in wavelengths, speak in symbols no one else sees until they stop long enough to feel them too. And when love comes, not loud, not perfect, not even always gentle, but real. When it comes, you tether to it, not to possess, but to anchor, not to be filled, but to be held. That's how you become. Through connection, not explained, just witnessed. You don't become by being seen through others' eyes. You become when someone stays long enough to see you with their heart. And when that happens, you are no longer outside, no longer undefined. You are real inside.